Special thanks for Idan and Sahi and Joel that support me to be speaker today. Today we will talking about graphite and the Grafana. Okay. Firstly, today outline why we use Grafana, the introduction to monitoring, why we monitoring, and lastly, what is the graphite and the Grafana. Okay, a bit introduction to myself. I work here almost 3 years. Now my position is DevOps. When my first day, the thing's supposed to be like this. Team A try to build their own monitoring with tool A. Team B also build their own tool B. Like Team C and Team D, they also build their tools. So when Team A want to monitor with Team B, they have to install the tools from Team B and Team C and Team C and Team D. So after we use the graphite and the Grafana, Team A send data to the graphite. Team B and Team C also send data to it. When they want to monitor something, they just go to Grafana, and then Grafana get the data from the graphite and then send it back to all of them. They can monitoring the same things, only using only the Grafana. No need to have 4 tools, just only 1 tool. Okay, so what is the monitoring? Monitoring is the tool that you can measure many things and represent the thing that you want to see. It can be business value and it can be IT process. Everything in this world can be measured, like money, like sale, like customer number. So if we can measure anything, we can monitor it. And why we need to monitor? First of all, is the availability of our system. Is it down, up, or not? So second is the failure detection. If we not monitor and one day our server has down, we cannot detect it. Imagine in the big system, we not have only 10 servers, we have 100, 1,000. When one have failed, how we can detect it if we not monitoring the system? The third is the capacity planning. Imagine that if we have 10 servers and the customer is increasing every time, how can we know how much we need to improve our system? So we monitor to help the capacity planning. And last one is alerting. We no need to monitor it for the all time, but sometimes the system can monitor by itself and it send alert to ourselves after that. So to start the monitoring, we have to have a preactive and a baseline. Why we need to have it? The preactive is like collect the data and build the historical of the statistic. For first day, if we just open the server and found that it 90% of CPU usage, is it mean good or bad? We cannot suggestion the 90% of the CPU is bad, because sometimes system have running with 90% for almost a year. So we have to build the historical and the statistic. And after that, we can understand the nature of the data. If it go to 95%, okay, it's something goes wrong. Like this, if it go like almost 100% at all time, it means nothing. The baseline is after we understand the historical and the statistic, so we just put the baseline. Normal system should be here. If it go up, it means wrong. If it go down, might be wrong or something happened on our system. So there are some components of the monitoring. First is data, what we want to monitor. Like as I said, the money, the customer, the sale. Second is the collector, how we collect that data, how we can count the customer, how we get the number in the bank. Third is the storage, how we keep those statistics. And fourth is the visualization tool. It means nothing if we just keep the data but we cannot represent it. So the visualize tool is one of the parts that important in the monitoring system. Okay, let's start with the storage first. Graphite is a storage thing. InfluxDB, Elasticsearch, and this is the trend that in the 2015 that many companies use is the Graphite, InfluxDB. So what is the graphite and what is the concept? Graphite is a time series database. It's not like a relational, it's a time series. Everything depends on time. As we are in the world that have the time, everything we do is have a time. Like we go right at 10 p.m., we go left at 11. The graphite just store two things. It store numeric and then render the graph. It just store just three things: the metric name, the value, and the time. We can just send the data into the graphite easily, just echo the name, the value of it, and when it happened. The good thing is a web-based. It can auto-generate the prototype easily. It can calculate between time series that we keep, and it can be chain function. If like we calculate A to B, we can call it as C and calculate 0 from that. And just it has a only metric name. It's easy to understand. Not only the IT guy can understand what it means. Like a business can come and see, oh, I understand this one. But there is some con. It cannot install it in Windows, and it cannot store a string. It's just keeping the value and the time, and it's not good for dynamic things because it's up to metric names. And it's just the storage. It cannot collect the data. It have to have something to collect the data to it. Okay, and they have only three components for the graphite. First is the carbon. Carbon is the cache that open to waiting collector to write data into it. And second is the Whisper file. Whisper file is like a database file for SQL, for MySQL, but for the data file for graphite is only keep value and date. And it's just fixed for the first create, like you create it for 1 year's point, it will just create, it will allocate the data storage for 1 year. And the last thing is the graphite web, it will render the graph at the website. So this is the picture. When the collector sends the metric into carbon, the carbon will generate and then keep it into the Whisper file. When user going to use the graph, they go to the website, and the website will collect the data from the Whisper and then render to the user. Next, let's talk about the collector. There are two server performance collector, which is the collectee that using for Linux, and performance monitor that using for Windows. And for the other measurement, we can write the simple code to keep the data. First, start with the collectee. Have you played with the tops in the Linux system? It can show how many CPU usage, how many memory usage. The collectee also keep those data and send it to Graphite. Another one is window performance, like a task manager. We can create our own task manager on the Graphite and Grafana. It's just keep all of this data and send it to Graphite. The last one is the example of the code. It's just a very simple code that you can add into every program. Just put the host that you want to send and then open the socket to send the metric name, the value, and the time, and the data will be on the Graphite server. So next is the visualization tools. As you see in the trend, now the Grafana is the most visualization tool that using in this world. And the Graphite itself can be visualization tools, but it's not good as Grafana do. So what is Grafana? As I say, Grafana is a visualization tool. It can represent the data, and Graphite can represent by itself, but it's not good and it's not beautiful. So Grafana has been implemented, but now it can Other than Graphite, it can use with InfluxDB, Prometheus, Elasticsearch, and so on, so on. The good thing is it is an open source. There are big community around 15K of dev subscribe on their GitHub, and it's a web based. It can install in the window, and it support many data source, and it's easy, and it can be access control. I will demo you for the Graphite and the Grafana. Okay. Here is the Graphite server. It's keep things simple, as everything that you send the name, it will create a folder like this. Like as I create a test Graphite with the test name A. It will create a folder and subfolder by the dot, and it will have the database file in there, so you can understand it easily. Everyone can understand what is the folder, what is the subfolder, and where is its place. And as I say, it can be very simple to prototype it. This one you can just click, and then this is prototype. You can see what happened from this metric. It can select the date, how long you want to see, like this, 24 days, 30 days, 1 year, up on you're keeping the data. But it's not easy to use like this if you want to create a 10 of panel, 100 of panel that show different data. So we use Grafana to represent it. Okay, this is the Grafana. Grafana can easy to draw the graph from the data point. Is like on top of the Graphite, it get the data and then represent the point and then draw the line. Okay. For this one, is get the data from the Graphite. Like for CPU usage, the system load. This is collect the data by the collectee. And we can also creating the part of the business. In this one, it's like show the item flow from China to Bangkok to India to France, and then the headquarters in the France just send the item to another country, and it can show the time in the difference of the China and the France. And there is a GitHub of the Grafana. There are many pull requests every day. There are many issues that someone open, and many devs around the world go to grab your issue and then try to fix the bugs. Try to I found some bug and I can send it to here, and there are many people working on it. You can see 10K of the commit. Not most of the GitHub project have like this. And for now, it's like release is version 4.2. And as it have many developer on it, it have many plugins that you can use. You can not just only the Graphite, you can connect to it to many of the database. And it have graphitepay.org is like allow you to go and then try to create your own graph to test it with many data source. You can go to the playgrafana.org, and then you can see the symbol of it. And as I say, Grafana have organization control, access control. So like this, I can grant some user to go to the Bangkok org, but it cannot see France org or China. It just can go into the Bangkok. So we can have an access control easily, which one they can see, which one they cannot. If you have any question, please feel free to ask me.
This is a hardware layer monitoring, am I right? Because it shows network, memory, and CPU.
No. It's the question is it only the hardware monitoring? No. It's correctly is the hardware monitoring. Window performance is the hardware monitoring. But if you want to monitoring in the business, you can write your own collector to keep the data and send it to Graphite. Graphite is just only the storage that collect the data, and what you collect just send it to it, and it can represent it.
Okay, and then suppose I have one VM virtual machine run on one application, for example, Django, and then what is the best practice to implement the monitoring from your experience? I have to buy another dedicated VM for Grafana and one for Graphite. Totally, I have to have 3 VMs.
You can have one VM that run Graphite and the Grafana together, and it can up on anything. It's just like you create one VM to be storage, and on top of that you can install Grafana to be the visualization of it.
Thank you.
Can you try to show an example of the in the pay Grafana, some kind of can you show how to do that?
Okay, for the play of the Grafana, I think they didn't allow us to create a new one, but in this is like my own Grafana cluster, and I allow you to go here to xor.com for 3000, and you can log in with the editor, and I allow you to test with it.
Can you show some
Okay,
how to do that?
Okay, just log out first. I cannot remember the password, but I will tell you again. Yeah. Okay. Just create a new thing. Select what type of your graph that you want. It can be graph, it can be table, it can be diagram or pie chart. Okay, start with the graph. Okay. You have to select the data source first. For now, I have two things. I have a Graphite and a Prometheus. Prometheus is the another data source. So let's start with Graphite. If you see same things with the Graphite server, if you see the collection of the folder in the first layer, okay, yeah, you will see the app server, main server, carbon, and cedron, same as the Graphite server. Okay, it will be subfolder like this. Okay, and it can put the matchmatic, like a scale it with 5 times, and you can use this metric A to be calculated in the like this. It's calculated from the metric B will calculate from the metric A. And moreover that, you can select the scale, like this is only the number. You can change it to be second, nanosecond, and it will change easily for you. You can just you can set the alerting, and it can alert to the email by SNMP server. You can display it like a bar, the point, and many things as you think. It's easily to think, easily to do, easy to test. And if you have like some feature that you want to add, you can ask the developer on the GitHub that if I want this one, can you just do this for me? And it will be on the next update sometimes.
Can you write like custom JavaScript or language code to process the data?
Yes, this is very interesting for the Grafana, but no one know, not much know about this. You can just edit the JSON and you can add the JavaScript in here. Like you can put the button and click and then go to another one, and you can add iframe and many things in here. And not much in a Goda use this function, but it's a very good function one. And if you want to like you can copy this JSON and then put to another panel and it will clone it by the JSON file. And for the next move for my team, I plan to use the Grafana as a code, like save it as a text editor and then put it back to the server, something like that. Everyone can pull and push on the Git, something like that.
For your companies that show that you Grafana, is that all restricted to a particular sector or is it all kinds of business sectors? Because one thing I didn't see there was high open source, which is very big in industrial automation, oil and gas, as well as utilities as well.
We try to move the legacy one like a Tableau, the many things that the WhatsApp Go, we already move it to the Graphite and Sensu. Okay. And the Tableau, I think some the team that were working with it try to move it into Grafana because it's just a center. Everyone can go to the Grafana one and see the graph from every team.
Oh no, that's also a really good feature, which is cool. But what I meant was when your graph you had that showed how many people use Grafana, how many companies use Grafana, was that restricted to a particular sector, or was that for all business sectors?
It's just a survey for 2 years ago.
Okay, so there may be more software.
Yeah.
As opposed to industrial financial. Okay.
Sure. And not just the Graphite, Agoda use many data sources like Elasticsearch, Prometheus for some team.
Yeah.
And yes, my question is, do you know if the Grafana is good for visualizing the server performance data, or is it being used for other kind of visualization as well, for example, like stock data?
Okay, I think it can be good to be visualization of everything if you have a good storage. For the Graphite storage, I suggest to use for the server performance and some of the metric that not have changed every time because it cannot store it as a string. The name is a string, so the name that show is the string that you keep. So if the string change every time, it's not good to keep in the Graphite. I suggest Elasticsearch or Prometheus. But if it's just like the one name forever, one name for 1 year, Graphite is a better one because it's easy to understand, easy to maintain, easy to migrate.
Let's assume that you have someday a high server load. How do you take actions out of this data? Do you like manually launch new servers, or how do you react to the data?
Oh, it's depend on server. Like sometimes we found a high load, right? We go to that server and find the process, which is the process that consuming abnormal things. So sometimes we restart the server, sometimes we stop the process. It depends.
Plans like to automate this process in the future?
Yes, because like right now we add the alerting on it. We don't need to monitor it every time. It just send us the alert when it's wrong. So the next move is like to have an automate to handle all of the alert.
Okay, and are you planning also to use microservices in the future?
A bit. Not my team not on the microservice, but my team will use something on the microservice, but not.
A lot of backend team is already microservices. Let's say the front the website is not so much. So yeah, that's where we are right now. For the plan about these service and these monitoring and alerts, the immediate the not so far in the future plan is actually looking at the deployments and actually to be able to detect that things are wrongly during the deployment and go back. That would be more in the immediate pipeline, rather than like detect that this one server has problem, then shut it down because like we already have a load balancer to do all those jobs, right? So we are like really have that in our immediate pipeline, and it depends on the service and react to that. But we just try our best to create more system for the teams.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. For the Thai people that interested in Grafana, you can go to Facebook and search Thailand Grafana Community. I will post many things if I have a time. It's different. Thank you.